Cool.
So I really didn't know about College Annex until we got an email about it on the listserv a couple months back. Really wish I knew about it last year because we had some trouble with real estate here, obviously.
Right.
So how did you think of like the idea of it, and at what point did it actually turn from just and I wish we had the system into College Annex?
Yeah. Like all great ideas, Phil and I were at a party drinking, and we were talking about how difficult it was in Oxford to find a place to live. He actually was really the one that sort of started getting it going, and he started reaching out to landlords and saying, why doesn't this exist? Why isn't there a listing site? And after that, we got more and more in discussion with landlords, and then eventually started to turn it into something. It took about, I would say, a year before it went from idea to actual, programming and putting the site together and everything. Initially, we just looked at it as it's really hard to find a place to live, so let's build a site where landlords list their properties and then students find the properties, kind of like a rent.com or an apartment list or whatever. And we ended up moving away from that because in talking to landlords, the reason that didn't exist yet, a lot of people had tried it and it always fails. And that's because in college towns, specifically, occupancy rates are really, really high. They have a stranglehold on the market. It's why they can act the way that they act, and normal landlords don't really behave that way. So they weren't willing to pay us to advertise for them because they're not getting any real value out of it. Mm-hmm. And people have tried that in the past and it never works. So after doing a lot of research into the market and talking to a lot of different landlords at different universities and getting really good feedback, we decided to make more than just an advertising site and to also have property management software. So it's free for landlords to list on our site, so it's really easy for them. It's really easy for us to get a large market share in any given university. Yeah, so right now we're live at 21 universities.
21.
Yeah, 21. And we have, I think, 10 to 15 others that we have all the listings ready to go. We just haven't launched live. We hope to be at, I believe the number, I could be wrong on this a little. I think it's 125 universities by the end of 2015. We're looking for rapid expansion. The way we structure our model is, it's nowadays a buzzword is freemium model. People, they give you Spotify free for 30 days and then you pay for it afterwards. We kind of are doing that. It's like a tweaked premium model in that it's free to list on our site. You get familiar with our platform, and then when you're ready to move on to our property management software, you're familiar with everything. It's an easy sell. Like I said, there's a lot of listing sites that you can go. I think there's actually one called Campus Casa that's trying to move into Miami, but they kind of missed the boat on the rental season. They all just do the listing side. So they're not exactly direct competitors. They every single year somebody tries it and it always fails. So not so much. There are a few other companies that are starting to entertain the idea of doing the property management stuff on the other side of things. One of the big ones that you may have heard of is Live Lovely. They're based out in San Francisco. Residential market rather than college market, and they're not approaching it in exactly the same way we are. They just do payment processing. We have a pretty good head start. We have about a year's head start on anybody that tries to build the property management software that we have in place. It takes a really long time. There's a lot of legal loopholes to jump through. Partnering with like KeyBank and Adobe takes a long time. Whoever they find for their solution, it's just not very easy. So there's a few that are starting to creep up. We like to think that they heard about what we're doing and they kind of copied it, but there's a couple coming out there now. One of the biggest issues was neither Phil or I took some programming classes. I know a little bit, but not enough to do what we needed to do, and Phil didn't have any background at all. That was the difficult part, was finding a good programmer to work with us and to join our team. Of course, we have like growth metrics that we keep constantly, and that's obvious stuff like how much are we bringing in monthly, how much are we bringing in from a particular landlord. We've calculated lifetime value of a given landlord, average landlord. One of the big things that we do differently is, for most companies, lifetime value is it's a lot lower. Ours is a lot higher because we have leases in place, so it's almost like an indirect contract that we have. as far as like the overall economic impact on maybe like a campus or a town around us, like indirect economic impact, we haven't really gone forward with a lot of things that we know we can do in the future, which is linking up with local businesses, linking up with other national businesses that, furniture companies and things like that. IKEA, you get a discount at IKEA for signing up with us. I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of different ways we can expand into other areas and sort of have that economic impact. Right now, it's pretty much just our primary revenue model that we use, which is rental transactions. And socially, I don't know. I mean, we're just trying to get all the students to use it, so I don't know.
I'd like to thank my entrepreneur, David Spooner, for agreeing to do this interview with me. College Annex is already very successful, being active on 21 college campuses already, with a promising goal of reaching 125 universities by 2015, as Dave said. Although they're successful now, I feel that marketing may have to be improved as they move forward. With the target market being desperate college students, they don't need an expensive or innovative form of marketing yet. Using word of mouth and direct contact of getting emails out to organizations listserv is cheap, easy, and has proven effective. But with 125 universities, all with dozens of student organizations, direct contact may be difficult to keep up. Although if they get the word out early enough, I believe it will continue to be utilized just because of how competitive real estate is on college campuses and how much easier College Annex makes the process. And if they're able to team up with local businesses like Dave anticipates, more opportunities for marketing right there. I really enjoyed this interview with Dave. It would not have done him justice. The video is limited to only 4 minutes, so I ran a little over. The interview was meaningful to me because I've had the same conversation that he and Phil had, complaining about how difficult it is to find and sign an off-campus house. This interview sort of reinforced the notion that anyone can complain about a problem, but an entrepreneur will explore options to solve that problem and act on it.